If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. I put out new Storybook Brawl videos every single day at 9:30 p.m. EST, and turns out most of you guys aren't subscribed yet, so what are you waiting for? I'm a pretty small channel, so I do also pay a lot of attention to comments and likes, so let me know what type of content you guys want to see. Enjoy the video. We're going to take a look here at a Peter Pants game. Those ones can always be kind of fun. Maybe I should have gotten some water because I do know that we are going to be hat balling in this video. But I'm going to start off by buying and selling a golden chicken and then eeny meenying and grabbing a tiny. Didn't really want to have the eeny meeny land on the chicken there. Definitely prefer the tiny or the mad mim. I think a 1/4 mad mim can hold its own in the first combat, and I don't mind it for that reason because mad mim is really strong. So getting some stats on it in the early game I think can actually be good sometimes. Like, you don't always want your supports to be able to attack, but if you're going to have a support on the first turn, I'd rather not just lose the first combat right off the bat. Then we get to pick up Vampire, which is a very strong pants unit to be able to pick up on the second turn, because all of our opponents are, we are going to be playing up against a Merlin here, but for the most part, our opponents are going to be having smaller minions than a 4/4, so we should be able to get this sleigh off. Like, worst case scenario, we probably trade. Okay, worst case scenario, we attack into a 7/7 because it is Merlin, like I said. So that can definitely happen, and yeah, that's always a possibility. But I think from here on out, and now we're playing against a Potion Master, you know what, let's buy a Mad Mim, just pump this up a little bit more, and then I will Candy Rain, and like I said, putting some stats on the Mad Mim. I don't hate it, because we could get into a scenario where we're trading off all of our other units, and then my opponent has like a 1/1 from Black Cat or something like that, and then we will want to have this additional attack on the Mad Mim rather than just losing the combat. I do find that a lot of times having 1/4 supports in the early game is pretty decent. Now in the late game, that's probably when you don't want your supports to really be attacking that much, because when you're supporting these frontline units, there's just like a greater chance that those are sticking around. Unfortunately, we're still not slaying. But here is, yeah, like say we just have 1 health on both of those units, but we actually could have won this combat and dealt 4 to our opponent just off the Mad Mim had they been able to kill our Vampire and our Bad Billy. I like the Black Cat on the Mad Mim. Just allows us to double up there. We also do have a Peep, so that is also worth considering. And I'm going to go for Lucky. Okay, fair enough. Throw a Lucky in the front. Just try to get some more econ. I do think that that's probably right, all things considered. I do think that Dwarves tends to be a route that you go when you play Peter Pants. So picking up some Dwarves earlier on, so that way if we find a white in a little bit, at least she still has some stats, and then we'll have to buy more Dwarves after we purchase her, but it'll mean that we have some stats here regardless. Hopefully this Vampire can slay eventually, playing up against an undefeated Zelhua. I think it's Zelhua, actually. Yes, Zelhua Animeus. And it's going to get sniped, but it is going to attack and get a kill. And it even would have killed the egg there, so it was good regardless. And we should be able to clear this egg here with our tiny, and Animus is no longer undefeated. And we're now near the top of the lobby. I guess we're still in 4th, but still pretty good here. That Merlin might wind up being our finals opponent, as they are still undefeated, and they had a really strong start with a 7/7 happy little tree, so that could be scary. Up against Snow Angel here, also an undefeated Snow Angel. They just purchased a Forbidden Fruit, so I'm going to go ahead and throw a Kidnap down because they might have some pretty powerful units. Also, I want to grow my Wizard's Familiar a little bit, and I've got to decide if I want to lock here for Princess White plus 3-cost Dwarf, and I think it's good. I could sell two of my units to play down a unit and pick up the Princess White right now. So that is what I'm going to do, and I am still just locking this shop because once you have Princess White, then some of the best things to buy in the game as pants are Tweedledee, Lucky, and Doubly. And so we will be locking for Tweedledee here. If we need to like sell the Black Cat or something too, that's also a possibility because we could support the Tweedledee. So that looks good. We will get a trade on with that Vampire, and then Black Cat will clean up their first one. But looks like this Kitty Cut Purse is also going to be pretty strong. We've got a little bit of extra stats in the back and should be able to trade with one of their units, but we are going to take 7. A pretty evil Snow White there, even with the evil treasure. Buy a Tweedledee, buy a 1-cost 3-drop. We got a Vampire off of our Kidnap, actually. So that is pretty sweet. That means that we might be upgrading this Vampire soon. Have to decide if I want a pair of Black Cats. Not particularly interested in that. I would probably just prefer to roll here, but the problem is I'm not going to be buying anything else if I do roll, so maybe I do just eeny meeny, we're like 50-50 to get a 9-9, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but not super exciting here either. So here I could sell the Mummy and the Black Cat to purchase the Doubly, and it does look like that is what I am strongly considering. Oh, I saw the Mad Mim to purchase the Doubly. Doubly is not that bad on pants because it is going to get those extra stats here, but we are going to play the Mummy rather than the Doubly. The Wizard's Familiar also has the same amount of stats here. Nothing super impressive. Playing up against Apocalypse. Not sure if that really changes any of my decisions, but I'm going to backline some of my bigger units, and hopefully things can work out that we can get 2 sleighs here. It looks like we will be able to get 2 sleighs, depending on when the second Vampire attacks, really. As long as it doesn't attack into this Queen of Hearts, which is certainly a possibility, but looks like it won't. It will be attacking into the Black Cat, and we just have to clean up this wolf in sheep's clothing here. We could get another sleigh, but we don't get another sleigh. Instead, we just take 6 down to 24. So we are one of the lowest people in this lobby here. Gonna get our first treasure though, and we got a crystal ball already. So you always take crystal ball on Peter Pants, and now we get to cast some treasures. This is the new Mix-a-Wazzle, so we can turn our Doubly into a 4-cost unit. We get a Broccoli, that's fine. Probably want to pick up this Blind Mouse here, just because you always want to pick up Blind Mouse as pants. This shop is an easy lock with the pair of Spellweavers. Definitely want to be picking up both of those, especially now that we have the Crystal Ball. I could also see selling 2 of my things to purchase one of them right now alongside the Forbidden Fruit, but I can understand if I don't want to do that as well. Just preserve my life total a little bit, and I also don't really have anything great to sell because you do want to hang on to these 3 blind mice when you are playing as pants, just because once you've got the hat and the ball, you need to find some kind of treasure that costs more than 4, just to give you a little bit of additional power. Nothing like no 3-cost treasures are really going to be that great for you at that point. Deal some damage, deal 6 damage to the Cursed King, and then we're going to go ahead and pick up a pair of Spellweavers. So pretty sweet. I pick up a Creeper just because it's another 3-cost unit that we could potentially pair or something later. Have no units to cast this Snowflake on, and then we see a pair of Stags, but we also see our second Lucky. So I would like to try to get this Lucky here. I'm not sure if I'll sell the Doubly or what. And I'm also pretty interested in this Root Worm as well. So if I could cast this Root Worm on Vampire, maybe I'm just going for the Root Worm right now. I actually go for the Root Worm onto the Mummy, and I think that that's totally fine too. And then I have to decide, okay, do I want to cast this Potion of Heroism? I could sell the Doubly or the Tweedledee. I think it's fine to sell the Doubly because Doublies will only get bigger as the game progresses, but I'm actually going to sell all 3 of my units here for the Lucky. So I'm really just prioritizing getting this hat before I worry about this 3 blind mice. And honestly, that's fine too, especially with Wonder Waddle in the lobby. That might just make it a little bit harder to get these 3 blind mice because Wonder Waddle's potentially sitting on some too. So if we wait for Wonder Waddle to be past that point in the game, be level 5 and looking for level 5 and level 6 treasures, then we don't really have to worry about Wonder Waddle stealing our blind mice. But it looks like Wonder Waddle has a 3, a 2, and a 4 treasure right now, so it might still be looking to pick up some better stuff than that. This donkey is looking really strong. We will be able to take out the pig here. They also have an insanely large broccoli that I don't think there's ever any way we get past, but we will be able to take out the donkey, so at least we trade with that, and we only take 8 down to 16. But that is going to put us in 3rd from last place. Kind of scary. A pair of doublies here means that we sold off the wrong dwarf, but no matter. We'll pick up the Princess Peep here, cast a spell, no point in gaining XP. No point in gaining XP yet again, and we will just roll. There we go, there's the Tweedledee. So more wrong dwarves. We could cast a True Love's Kiss on the Vampire, start trying to scale up a little bit in that capacity. The trick is the Vampire is a scaling unit, so it is a little bit scary to go for that, but oh, I see. I just go for the Princess White. Okay, that's also a pretty good plan. Then we get the Merlin's hat, and we could cast the True Love's Kiss now here. That wouldn't be that bad. Crafty is also not that bad. Crafty's bigger than Wizard's Familiar, and it looks like I am going to go for the True Love's Kiss on the Vampire. Gives us an upgraded 4-drop, and it is a greedy. So we've got a little bit of dwarven action going on here. Definitely not casting the Forbidden Fruit at this stage in the game, and I'm just going to put in the Wizard's Familiar just to have slightly more stats rather than worry about the lucky triggers at this point. We also don't really need discounts on minions at this point because the only minions that we're really buying are Spellweavers, Wizard's Familiars, and then we're just buying spells. So we're going to try to scale this backline as hard as possible going into the future here, and looks like we've got a decent shot to do so. Just we're pretty powerful. We've got the hat ball. I'm actually feeling pretty decent at this stage in the game. That's going to trade off, and we are actually going to get the first win of the game against Merlin. I don't mean our first win. I mean Merlin is going to take his first defeat at the hands of us. So that is pretty sweet to start killing Merlin here. A little bit of lag on this shop. Let's see if this Beauty's Influence wants to get cast on anything. Not really. Not sure what we can do here other than just roll and hope the next shop works. Yeah, that Beauty's Influence just doesn't want to work, and we're just getting a little bit of lag right now. So that is unfortunate. Nothing we can do. Pretty awkward. Our first Hatball turn is totally destroyed by some lag. Let me jump ahead. What do I do? Okay, I guess the lag just eventually... Oh, okay, I restart the client. So that's what you got to do if you notice a bunch of lag. So I restart the client, we get back into it here, and then we cast the Beauty's Influence, pick up the Cinderella, and now we're hatballing with only seconds left to go. Yeah, just going to look for spells wherever possible. I do potentially want to pick up a tree at some point. We'll cast this True Love's Kiss on Greedy, turn it into a 5-cost unit. This time Beauty's Influence wasn't working just because of user error. I'm going to skip this treasure just so that we have time to look at the rest of the stuff in the shop. And unfortunately, I don't get to lock the Spellweaver. So we lost a lot by that shop being so laggy, but we do have an upgraded Wombats, which is really powerful. That hit should take out a Court Wizard. Let's see, the Wombat's going to get, yeah, it's going to spawn something with plus 36, plus 36 there, so a huge stag, and we will be able to take out the Potion Master regardless, but a little unlucky that we just did not have time to figure out everything that was going on with that shop. We will be able to pick up a second Wizard's Familiar here, though. That's really good. Temporary stats for the Wombat. That seems good. We also didn't get to lock a TLK in the last shop, but we will get to TLK this into a Gumblegore. So this is pretty sweet. That's our biggest unit at this point in the game. Temporary stats now go on the Mummy. That makes a lot of sense. I don't need more mummies. That really doesn't do anything for us. I will upgrade a Wizard's Familiar. That is really sweet. Hermes boots could be good, but we are just going to skip because we know we're going to replace the boots eventually, so might as well just replace them now and get a few extra gold to cast a few extra spells here, which will amount to a few extra stats. Definitely want to be locking this shop, and oh, I see. Yeah, because I'm going to be playing down a unit here anyways. I don't know. This is a little bit of an interesting move. I made myself a lot less powerful this turn, and then I'm just playing a Black Cat. But the Black Cat does work well with Gumblegore, but then I also just have this 5/5 unit in the back. Probably should move Gumblegore over one, and then just throw the 3 Blind Mice in spot 7, and hope that it doesn't come up or anything, as the Gumblegore and Spellweaver are able to do a little bit more work. But we might be powerful enough. That's going to negatively battle. That's going to negatively battle. So not looking super great for us, but that was a decent hit, and the Gumblegore is obviously really insane. So the Gumblegore is definitely going to be doing some carrying here. The 3 Blind Mice gets out of here, and then we're going to eat something, and then the Gumblegore is going to clean it up for us. So 9 damage to Moneybags, put them down to 8. So if we face off against them again, we should be able to kill them. Should pick up this Spellweaver first, playing up against the Ghost right now. So that's pretty good. Going to cast this on white and then cast some more spells. Gaining some life points here. All right, 3 Blind Mice. Nice. We get a 4-cost treasure. Deck of Many Things is fine. Casting a random spell at the start of each brawl. That is going to grow our Wizard's Familiars and the like. And we're going to immediately sell the 3 Blind Mice. Pardon me. We're going to immediately sell the 3 Blind Mice so that we can try to purchase them again. Let's go for a pair of spells on Gumblegore. That is actually pretty good, that different assortment of spells. The Fairy is interesting, and I'm not really playing for it here. I'm just kind of assuming we will do away with it eventually. Oh, I buy another Blind Mice. I wasn't sure if I was actually buying the Baby Root there, because once you have an Elder, basically anything works with the Baby Root, or any trees work with the Elder. This is really interesting because I've got no evil units. I've Beauty's influenced all 3 of my evil units, and that's one of the awkward parts with the Shoulder Fairies when you are playing Hatball or playing Pants. So it's just going to be a 3, like, 100. Yeah, there we go. But maybe that allows us to get additional attacks in with Spellweaver. You never know. It could still be good. Also, we're playing up against the Ghost here, so it really should not matter too much, all things considered. We should be able to get this win regardless. Let's see where Spellweaver goes, right on the Evil Queen. So yeah, this was a pretty straightforward win. How much damage are we looking at? 16 damage, so Snow Angel is currently the only thing that we can kill. Did anybody else take damage? Wonder Waddle did. And we are up against Merlin again, our nemesis. No, just Merlin was off to a really good start at the start of the battle, so that could definitely be somebody to keep in mind. Temporary stats now going on the Spellweaver, and like I said, could definitely consider picking up some trees, but don't want to go too hard on it. Putting temporary stats on the Spellweaver because it is the most lacking in stats at the moment, so we can throw those there. Might as well end on a Falling Stars, just deal a little bit more damage. And I think this Mummy is bigger than our 3rd Wizard's Familiar. Yeah, so we should put that in over that. And Yeah, this seems fine. I think our Spellweaver might be big enough at this stage in the game. Now, our opponents are just hitting 6 at this time, with the fact that we are on 3+4 as pants, because it's 2+4. So our opponents are just hitting 6 unless they've purchased any experience, so Zelhua is definitely power spiking right now, and Merlin could also be picking up some sweet stuff, but he has not yet. He actually has an arc, but no 6-cost units yet. So we picked them up before they got the +12/+12, but the +12/+12 isn't really going to be enough stats to deal with us here. We are indeed much larger than that. So we will be able to take Merlin down. We did just give Merlin a 5-cost treasure with the double Fairy Godmother plus the Lancelot. Nothing we could really do there ourselves, but we are potentially looking to kill Merlin the next time we see them, and we might be able to get a kill on Wonderwaddle right now. Any good treasures here? Not really. I think we'll stick with the Deck of Many Things, and we are just going to continue to look for Spellweavers, spells. Yeah, casting any spells we find. You guys know the deal. That will go on Spellweaver. We have a monster, a princess, and a tree as well. So we have targets for all of our spells, which is also pretty funny. Upgraded Puff Puff, not really going to be doing anything with that. I think I will buy another 3 blind mice here, though. I think that seems fine. And then I'm going to cut the third Spellweaver. I didn't see how big it was, but I guess I've only just purchased it this turn, so it's not that large, and I would just rather have a larger unit in there. So that seems like it might be fine. We only need 2 of our units, I guess, to survive to kill Wonderwaddle, or 1 upgraded unit. So we will see how that goes. Probably it would just be the Spellweaver. My opponent doing something similar to us, though. They actually don't have a Ring of Meteors. They just cast a... Oh, we cast a Falling Stars. We cast a Falling Stars against a Donkey and a Creeper. That's pretty funny and pretty lucky for our opponent, but I don't think it's going to be lucky enough, as we are going to take them down there. Yeah, still had our entire back line. So that is going to put us into 3rd place, and then we find another Wizard's Familiar. That's a pretty big power spike here. Don't really have any interest in any of these treasures. I think the Deck of Many Things is just going to be better than all of these. Guess at this point we're looking for another, more Spellweavers just to consolidate our board more. Some True Love's Kisses. TLKs are probably the biggest thing that we can add. And then, yeah, of course, some more 3 blind mice will always be nice as well. And Zelhua lost to Merlin, so Merlin's got the bye this round, and we are taking on Zelhua. I don't think I've played them in quite a bit, so I don't really know what they have going on. Skipping anything that isn't Forking Rod here, and we could be purchasing some things to clear up the pool a little bit, so that way we have more opportunities to find Forking Rod, but that's fine. Actually going to take a treasure map here. I think treasure map is totally fine. We can toss the Deck of Many Things, and now we'll throw temporary stats back onto the Mummy, and then some permanent stats on the Mummy, and we'll end with a Genie's Wish. I think our board is pretty powerful right now. 2 really large range units, 2 really large Wizard's Familiars, and like I said, everybody basically just hit 6. Everybody's on 6.2 right now. They're on their 3rd turn of level 6. Now on Zelhua, that could be pretty scary, but it doesn't look like that's going to be too strong. They are going to be able to Medusa us, so that is a little bit annoying. And they've got a Pandora's box on the way, but it looks like we are going to usurp that Pandora's box. This doubly does have a lot of health, and they got it off of Wombats, right? And then it just landed in front of a support. So pretty good run from them, but we are going to be able to take them out here just barely as our 2 upgraded units survive, plus 3 damage from our hero level. So we are up against Merlin now. This is the finals. Like I said, Merlin is the big bad boss at the end of this. I take Mad Mim just to throw a Witch's Brew onto it. Not sure if that was the right call, but it winds up being fine. Decide to just roll past the 3 blind mice at this point. I don't really care. And actually, the Mad Mim pays for itself as I find another Witch's Brew to throw on it, and a few more potions of heroism and Luna's Grace to get that monster up there. Let's turn Puff Puff into a 5/5, a rather lackluster 5/5 to be sure. I'm going to throw some more permanent stats onto the Spellweavers here, and then we get to turn Nyan into a Oni King, so that is actually kind of sweet. That's going to mean that the Wizards or Mummy is getting +20/+20 on the attack, so that is pretty cool. I think I was thinking about selling Mad Mim just to purchase the Gingerbread House, just to get a little bit more stats across the board. I'm also going to move Oni King to the front row, so that way Oni King can attack and trigger itself as well. Oni King does get shriveled, but that is not going to kill it, and then our Mummy is going to attack but not find a kill. We do get to take out the Hercules before that attacks again. We take out the Juliet right before the Romeo attacks, though, which is going to summon 2 Juliets. But our Spellweavers are huge. One Spellweaver is going to trade with Juliet. The other one is going to not quite take down the Happy Little Tree, but we do get to survive with a Heartwood Elder, or Corrupted Heartwood. Forget the names on some of these units here, but this looks okay for us. We are going to lose the Oni King on this fight, but maybe we can find the another True Love's Kiss. And that's a pretty awkward choice there. Like, do I still want to spend mana on Spellweavers? But I think I do. I think another Spellweaver at this point is still pretty good. Honestly, one other thing that I would like to see here is just picking up a tree. Just pick up like Happy Little Tree or something, because Happy Little Tree is going to have 200 attack if I were to just purchase it here. And yeah, I mean, that definitely adds up. But we're just going to be casting some spells here in the meantime. I think I will sell the Mad Mim for a roll and try to cast one more spell. We get to actually cast 2 more spells off of that. And then 3 more spells as far as the Wizards, Familiars, and Spellweavers are concerned. So pretty big board here. We just saw our opponents last turn. They just have a bunch of like 50-50 princesses and princes. So as long as they don't do anything too crazy with a good boy here, but we'll see how much they've been able to pump up their good boy. It's at 18-18. That's really mostly just from the arc. And it looks like their board is basically the same size as it just was. Our Corrupted Heartword's going to trade 2 for 1. Our Wizard's Familiar is going to trade 2 for 1. And then our second Wizard's Familiar also going to trade 2 for 1. So we should win this one regardless, but will we have enough damage to kill them? We will not, because our last Spellweaver is not upgraded and they killed one of our upgraded ones. So Merlin is down to 1 health, and we've got 1 more combat in us. What are we looking for? What do we want to find? I've totally forgotten at this point that I still have a treasure map, and I don't know. I think I probably should have just kept the Heartwood Elder here, though, and gone for this. I'm going to do a little bit more rearranging, taking up a little bit of our time here. But this is fine. I debate picking up the Mummy because we do have this treasure map, and then I start picking up 3 blind mice. I should have just ignored it at this point in the game, but it would have been sweet to cast another spell. But we've just been running on just the hat and the ball here, and that really is all that you need sometimes. Go for a Falling Star, and this Spellweaver that we picked up on the last turn is actually going to be quite large, because we are going to be able to make it have 40 attack. I don't know why I am saying that I want to put it there, but I guess I'm just thinking that these Spellweavers are... Oh, it's because I want my Spellweavers in the back to get to attack first. I also know that my other guys in the front will be able to trade 2 for 1s on their attacks. So, yeah, this is potentially pretty good here. We will take out Romeo. They'll summon 2 Juliets, and those are big Juliets. but we've got some really big Spellweavers here as well, and now Spellweaver will take out Juliet, and we will take out Explosion Burger. So there we go. There is Winning with Pants with a treasure map that we never even had to use. So just a pretty straightforward Peter Pants game there with Hat Ball. We did find the Hat Ball super early, and once we've done that, then the rest didn't really matter. So I'm definitely willing to acknowledge that there was a lot of luck that took place in this game. But yeah, that's just wanted to show off this Pants game from about a week ago here. I've been thinking, you know, I like to put out a Storybook Brawl video every day, but I can't put out like a total absolute banger every day, like my Black Friday video, or when I made a 1000 Shadow Assassin, or when I cast a dream and got 2 level 6 treasures, that video. So I do try to space out some of my, what I refer to as like my real banger videos, and I have a bunch of videos like this that nothing noteworthy in particular happens in them, but they are still pretty cool. And trying to find a way to like differentiate and say like, okay, these are my must-watch videos. Everybody's got to watch these ones, and then have some videos like this where, okay, if you just want to watch a Storybook Brawl video every day, I'm still here for you. So right now, basically, the way that I've done that is say like, okay, if it's a really good video, then I'll post it on Discord and on Reddit, on stuff like that. Should probably tweet them as well. That's probably, you know what? Yeah, this is a plug for my Twitter. I will tweet when I post the banger videos. And then videos like this, which are still, I mean, this was still a first place video, it was a Hat Ball, but I like the more unique ones myself. But I don't know, let me know. Do you guys like seeing the videos like this where it's just, okay, solid gameplay? I did get lucky. I did get lucky in this game. We will admit that. I got a crystal ball and a Merlin's hat very early on. But nothing super exciting otherwise happened. I do think that I still provided like some really good commentary as far as giving insight as to what people should be looking for when they are playing Peter Pan. So for some of my subscribers that are into that kind of stuff, just kind of level up your game kind of stuff, this is still good. But I don't know, like I'm almost thinking like, should there be a hashtag on the video, hashtag banger, on the really good video days. So maybe I will experiment with something like that in the future. I do also have a playlist on my channel, come to think of it, that is like I put up my favorite videos in that playlist when I can remember to do so. It's kind of interesting here because I'm talking about an audience that doesn't want to watch this video to an audience of people that just watched this video. So there we go, but maybe you guys can give me some feedback on that nonetheless. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.